So,
like before any other symptoms happen.
I will say, my youngest was a very easy baby. He cried only at necessity times, right? Like, so hungry, wet. He cried when he did not feel good. But my daughter was that baby that cried non-stop.
Absolutely.
Like, and she's number 2, so I'm thinking, I've already done this once. Like, this should be no problem.
This is fine.
She cried all the time. I remember she was 2 weeks old, maybe 3 weeks old, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I felt like I was losing my mind because she cried so much. We loaded up in the car, and we went to my parents' house in New Mexico, and I stayed with them for a few weeks. And during that time, my stepmom figured out that she was having colic, and that was why she cried. Like, literally, she only slept maybe 30 minutes to an hour at any given time, and she just cried and cried and cried.
Maybe that's why when she was a little bigger, she was swallowing rocks.
Maybe that's
trying to
why
fix her own colic.
Right, horses do that, don't they?
I don't know.
They eat sand. Anyway, I digress. But, so she would take a towel and put it in the dryer, get it hot, lay it on her hard floors, because she has not carpeted floors, she has hard floors. And we would take my baby and lay her on her tummy on that blanket. The first time we did that, I think she slept for 6 hours straight.
Oh,
she passed out.
She was just tired.
She was tired. She was exhausted, and that warmth really soothes their bellies, and then the pressure of their body on them, because it's just very gentle. She passed right out, and so my stepmom was like, "I'm gonna watch her. If you want to go rest," and I'm like, "Bye, Felicia." And
thank you. God bless you.
I took the first real sleep since she had been born. And so it was an amazing experience. But those types of symptoms, I feel like, are so hard to diagnose. And as a parent, at some point, you're feeling like you could pull your hair out. And asking for help is hard.
Yes.
And when you have a crying baby at home, asking for help feels like you're the failure. It does. You just feel like
and you really are doing your best job. You just can't figure it out.
Yes. And so this is my
the complicated side.
Yeah, this is my TED Talk on this. Ask for help. It's okay to feel like you're failing. Your family and your friends will love you and understand, because if they have children, they have been through this themselves. And if they have not, they should get to experience this from somebody else. But it's hard, because if you have postpartum or baby blues,
sometimes you can't think clearly.
And then you're in the point where you can't even think clearly. And so it is safer for your baby, and it is safer for you to make that embarrassing phone call. Because that's what it feels like. It feels embarrassing. It is better to make that phone call than to do something to hurt yourself or to hurt your baby.
And diminish your mental state.
And make it even worse.
Possibly.
Yeah. Don't do that. Make the phone call. So ways to soothe babies besides laying them on their belly on a towel, because I know that's not pediatrician recommended thing. I get that. And I only recommend you doing that under supervision. Don't go take a nap while your baby lays on their tummy, because they're that's not a thing anymore. Babies are supposed to lay on their back, which I totally support, and I believe that is good science for lots of reasons. But in moments like that, definitely okay. I also recommend when babies have gas, you can lay them in your lap, like their head hanging kind of down on your leg.
Yes, you did that to my baby.
And you rub their back while their belly is on your knees, and you're supporting their head. Oh my gosh, they love that.
Mine had a lot of problems with constipation and not being able to pass gas very easily. And so it was like a miracle.
Yeah.
When she showed
Eliza
me that.
to the rescue. I got you.
Because I did all the other things online that I could find, and it just... That was what worked for my child, was doing that.
Yes, and I've told other people about it, because I'm like, but it's you holding them and supporting them and being in the moment with them, because you don't want to leave them like that. So be safe. Car rides are a good way to soothe babies.
I also really like car rides. It's super soothing to me. Some people judge me, like your husband, that I don't listen to music when I'm driving. People in the past have called me names like psychotic and things because of that. And It's just me. I like stand-up comedy. I like podcasts. I like those kinds of things. I like people talking. I'm not against music. I just don't really quite listen to it, but I love going on car rides
and being
in complete silence. Yeah,
you know, I had a car.
Other people think that's so weird.
I had a car that the radio went out in it for a long time, and so I just drove. This is back before we had all this like you plug in your phone shit. Okay,
I still can't figure that part out. My husband does that all the time, and then he'll set me up before a long car ride if we're like following each other. And he'll set up my phone where it's all connected. And then my child thinks that I can just automatically do a dinosaur rap song.
And you're like, no.
Any other day of the week. And I'm like, you understand Daddy did that for you, even though it was just me in the car.
Well, it happens. But my car, I had to drive in silence.
I highly recommend dino rap songs.
Dino rap?
I don't know what it's called. I just know that when I looked at it or I heard it, it sounded like a rap song about dinos.
Okay.
So.
Alright, well, I don't hate it.
I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find them.
Probably. So, car rides, they soothe adults and babies.
Yes.
Rocking, like a rocking chair, or like they make those kit baby rockers.
Gliders. I think that's what it's called.
That's the word. So, rocking chairs and gliders for babies. Music. Soothing music. My husband, oh my gosh, he used to play, because he's a nerd, so he would play music from video games.
Oh yeah?
Like,
there are like so Final many Fantasy, of them would soothe me.
Like Final Fantasy ones, like I guess they have like a very big like orchestra like style music, and so he would play those for him when he was a baby, and he loved it.
And what's great is you get to enjoy it too.
You get to enjoy it too. He loved that. Swings, those baby swings. Fantastic.
Oh, those are a lot of fun.
We used to do nap times in them sometimes because it was the easiest way sometimes to get some...
To not move them?
Yeah, to get some like, okay, they're sleeping and they're in a safe place, and I can sit here and I can see that they're in a safe place. You should never leave them unattended in any of these situations, but eyesight's key. And most newborns love to be swaddled. And if you don't know how to do that when you're at the hospital... You can ask them to teach you how to do that. They also make all these really cool blankets that have Velcro on them and that do it for you.
That's true.
I used a lot of those.
But the best people to do it are the nurses that handle the babies all the time.
The nurses are so awesome at it. So when, because my closest experience, right, is my youngest. So when he was born, and the nurses would swaddle him, and my husband's like, how the hell, what kind of magic is this,
They make it so tight.
They're so tight. And he could never replicate that. Me, however,
I'm pretty good at swaddling.
I'm decent, all right? But mine were still nothing compared to those nurses that do it day in and day out.
When my kiddo was bigger, he was like 3, and I was swaddling him with just a big blanket that was thin, and it was great. He felt so secure in it.
I think that's why those
that was when he was
blankets,
like sick and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why weighted blankets work so well, because it's like that swaddling.
Yes,
it brings back that repressed memory of feeling safe and secure.
I get a little nervous around weighted blankies just because my kiddo moves so much in his sleep. I'm scared it's going to be like all on his neck at one time or something, and I can't.
You get the lightweight.
Can't get that out of my head.
So mine does cartwheels in his sleep, I'm convinced.
Yes.
And he has a weighted blanket, and I think it's only 5 pounds. So get a small one, you'll feel better. This is not heavy enough to choke him out in his sleep, I promise. He's old enough. He'd be all right.
He did have one that we just used at nap time.
Oh, yeah? Did it work really well?
It did. He actually would take naps, but we haven't been using it lately because someone got sick on it.
Oh. And they're hard to wash.
I don't know if you can. I threw it away.
Oh.
I threw it away. I've only thrown away like 2 outfits that were baby outfits ever. Because they were so far gone.
You're like, I can't salvage. It's not
and it
worth
was typically like diarrhea. Like I could not, like if I can like clean it outside, I did several times, like small mishaps.
Yeah.
But there was 2 outfits I remember.
You were like, screw this, it's not worth it.
And that blanket just got thrown away.
That's so sad. So, for help with crying baby, kidshealth.org has an article called What to Do When Babies Cry. It's literally what it's called. What to Do When Babies Cry. And they said you cannot spoil your baby with too much attention. I feel like that is an old wives' tale that you can spoil a baby. It's not true. Actually, all you can do is make a better human because it releases the chemicals in the brains that they're happy and happy cortisol. Was it? I can't think of the word right now. But anyway, you want those good feeling.
Dopamine or
dopamine?
Is that?
I think that's it.
We're not scientists.
We're not scientists, but you want those good chemicals released in the brain, and holding and loving your baby is the best way to have more of those release. And so
oxytocin? I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to stop trying.
I feel like we're dancing all around.
Keep talking.
It's not adrenaline, so
definitely can check that one off the list.
So to soothe a crying baby, these are their recommendations. First, make sure the baby doesn't have a fever. All right, anything 100.4 plus is considered a fever. With newborn infants, it's there's different rules and regulations, so be sure to talk to your doctor about that one, all right? Make sure the baby isn't hungry and they have a clean diaper. You can walk or rock the baby, sing and talk to the baby, offer a pacifier if that's their thing, take them for a ride in a stroller, hold them close against your body, and take some calm, slow breaths. With smaller babies, like I say smaller, newborns to a few months, if you do the skin-to-skin contact while you do this,
they'll like take on your energy.
Yeah, it helps. It's like 10 times better than just holding them against you. Holding them against you is great. If that's all you can do because you're in public and you can't be taking your clothes off, I understand. But
I mean, it's a perfectly good excuse at that time to do it because a few months later you don't have the same excuse anymore.
That's right, and then it gets awkward.
So you might as well just rip your clothes off.
Rip your clothes off. Hold your baby. God.
Do you understand the research behind skin to skin?
That's why I'm naked, officer. I swear. Digress. It says give the baby a warm bath. Rub or pat their back, because gas, that's going to help with that. Place the baby across your lap on their belly and rub their back, like I was saying. A swing or vibrating seat, because that motion is very soothing. They like repetitive motions. Taking them in a car for a ride, playing different music for the baby. And it says some babies just need less stimulation. Baby 2 months and younger may do well just being swaddled and lying on their back in the crib with very dim or dark lights. So make sure the swaddle isn't too tight, and stop swaddling when the baby's able to roll over. That's 4 or 5 months usually by the time you can quit swaddling. It's very helpful. But what to do if the baby can't stop crying, won't stop crying? Call a friend or a relative to take the baby so you can have a break.
And do some self-reflection, because maybe some of your energy that's less than calming in that moment
is not helping, right? Like it's hurting, not helping. And I don't disagree with that.
Because I got frustrated a lot when my little was crying for too long, and I just didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's overwhelming because your job is to make them stop, and you can't. So, they said if nothing else works, and it's building on, you put the baby on their back in an empty crib, so no blankets, stuffed animals. Close the door and check on the baby in 10 minutes. During the 10 minutes, try to do something for yourself to relax and calm down. Your baby is in a safe place. While they may be crying, and that is upsetting in itself, they're in a safe place, and you can go take care of yourself for that 10 minutes.
And then you come back refreshed.
And then if nothing seems to be working, like you've done all of the above, you called the friends, he napped, you know he's done, call the doctor. I always tell people, call the doctor. You have more questions than answers, call the doctor. Always.
Absolutely.
Do it. So, pregnancy.birthbaby.org, this is an Australian article, for a crying baby. They said, check all the basics, which is what we literally just listed. They said, hold your baby close, gently pat, soothe, walk, change of scenery, changing positions of holding them. I didn't think about this, but this is something that they talk about.
Maybe their neck is tight or something and they need relaxed.
So, my stepmom said this to me once with my youngest, and because we held him a lot, because now research says you hold the baby, and so we held him a lot. And she was like, do you think maybe he's crying because he's sore? Like, put that baby down and let him stretch out. And I was like, I didn't think of that.
But sometimes you need that